Turn us up.
Right, we're just trying to get a bit of extra volume. Is that better? Can you all hear us? Hey, there we go. That's more like it. Thank you, gents. Bowen, Larkins, Tyres, Tomlinson, Buttery, James and Bailey lining up. 13 and 14-year-olds. Race Cycling Lloyds Bank National Championships. Right, gate drops on moto one, riders heading down the hill. Let's have a look who's going to be the first to rise as they head towards that turn. Looking at Ben Larkins, I think, picking up the whole shot. Larkins, James going 1 and 2. The 7 and the 10 in there in 3. That's going to be Tyres and Harry Bailey. Noah Buttery in there in 5 as they go in and out of that second turn, heading towards the final corner. Larkins in control. Oliver James looking good in 2. Under pressure from Tomlinson as they get to the line. Is he going to hold it? James holds it for that second spot. Noah Buttery in there in 4.
Second moto of the 13 to 14-year-olds hits the track. It's the European number 3 from the outside. Clitheroe's going to lead it into the turn. Who's out there with him? Looking like Rab Racing's going to pick it up. Oh, one rider comes on clips. That was Freddie Richardson, so it's going to be Cottrell and Rayford going through in 2 and 3 into the corner. Who's in there in 4? Looking like that could be Newton Hindley in and out of that second turn. Hindley's in there in 5. It's the 15 in 4. That is Eden Boone. Last turn action. Cottrell comes unclipped, slips back to 3. It's going to be Clitheroe, Rayford, Cottrell. 1, 2, 3. Eden Boone's going to round out your top 4.
Right, moving on, 13 to 14-year-old females. Hayley Watson, Daisy Knowles in this one. Matilda Sasharu, that looks like Emmy Seward. Hard knocks by coaching. In and out of turn number 1, leading it through, jumping Jess Marriott. They're in that second spot with Hayley Watson going through in 3. We've got Lucy Gardner and Madison Dixon in this one as well as they go in and out of the second turn towards the final corner. It's Emmy Seward. Hard knocks by coaching, leading it out. Marriott's chasing it down. Watson's in there in 3. The 11 play of Lucy Gardner in 4. Seward takes it at the line.
Second rack of the 13 to 14-year-old girls, and it is the 1 plate leading it towards turn number 1. That's going to be Ruby Moores into the corner. Who's in there with her? The 3 plate coming on round. That is Grace Burge, the 4 in the mix as well as they bring it on through the second straight. That is Ruby Walford looking like Peckham BMX in there as well. Got to be Atana Price on the 8 plate. The front 4 looking to take it through as they head into that final turn. It is going to be Moores out front in and out of that last turn. She's going to take this one down the final straight. Going to be Burge in there for 2, Walford 3, and Price going to round out the top 4.
Moving on, 15, 16-year-old boys now moving on an age group as they head into the turn. Oliver Kendall, Finley, half 1 and 2. Who's going to chase them down the straight? Jaden Fawcett. Hard knocks by coaching in there in 3. That looks like Sam Hamblin rounding out the top 4. But Oliver Kendall, Jump Club, S&M Source heading into the final turn. Pro Star chasing him down, in and out they go. It's going to be Kendall, Hoff battling for the win. Who's going to get in at the stripe? Kendall, Hoff, 1 and 2. Fawcett might have got pipped on the line for 3.
Second rack of 15 to 16-year-olds hits the track. Duran's on the inside, but it's looking like Jared Hill heading for turn number 1. Here comes Anna Mavawani right at the inside, just comes up short and hits Hill into the turn. So he's come unclipped and he's at the back of the pack. Hill, Duran, Simpson, 1, 2, 3. That looks like it's going to be Flynn Drelling caught up the inside of Simpson in the turn. Duran's worked his way from 2 to 1. So it is Duran and Hill out front. Who's there in 5? Look at flying. Flynn Drelling worked his way underneath as well and gone into that second spot. Looks like Hill's moved back to about 5. JTL Simpson Davies is going to take it through in 3. Gabe Simpson in 4.
Right, Elsa Rendell Todd, 15, 16-year-old girls in and out of that first turn, and being chased down the straight. I can see Annalise Cadman-Carpenter in there as well. Is she inside the top four? Yes, she is. She's in there. Sophie Elwood going through, Sophie Kynaston as well, Isla Radcliffe, Bethany Coates, Rosie O'Brien in the mix for Preston Pirates, but there's no stopping Elsa Rendell Todd taking it to the line. Kynaston in 2.
15 to 16-year-old girls hit turn number 1. That looks like it's going to be Lucy Simpson leading this one out. Mika Pritchard is in there in about 4 at the minute. That looks like Roy and Carruthers in 2 and 3 heading into that second corner. So it's Simpson out front, Pro Start BMX bringing it on through. Roy and Carruthers having their own little scrap for that second spot as they head into that final turn. Has Carruthers got enough for a high-low? I don't think she quite made it stick. Last straight drag race and Simpson, Roy, Carruthers 1, 2, 3, Pritchard in 4.
Right, moving on, that looks like Freya the Slayer Chalice into the turn. Here we go. Eleanor Curtis in this one as well. That looks like the A-play of Sabina Ashman in there in that second spot. Alexis McCartney in there in 3. But Freya the Slayer, absolute bicycle motocross, out in front by about 10 bike lengths now, in and out of the turn. She's got this one in the back. Sabina Ashman in there in 2. Alexis McCartney is going to pick up the 3. There's a big battle going on for 4.
Masters out on track then. That's got to be Ben Martinez leading this one out. Who's in there with him? Hilly's picking it up. Livingston's in the mix heading into that second corner. Matthew Eaton rounds out the top 4 as they go in and out of turn number 2. Who's in there in 5? That is the 1-2-4 plate, bringing it on through in towards that final turn. That is Brett Archibald, but he's got a bit of work to do to catch Eaton. Martinez, Hill, Livingston 1, 2, 3, Eaton in 4.
Right, stay strong Brand going 1 and 2 in this one. Carl Strickland and Billy Lockhurst in that first and second position. Matthew Bowles in there in 4 at the moment, and the guy in there in 3 in that bright green kit, that is Scotty Boom Boom Beaumont of the 96 podcast fame, in and out that final turn. It looks like it's going to be a stay strong 1 and 2, taking it to the line. Beaumont for 3, Bond in there in 4.
Women's Masters out on track then. 0-1 on the plate out from Rebecca Gold leads this one out. Who's in there? Whether the 7 plate picking it up, that is Josephine Burston out of Braintree. Coach Chizzy's in there as well. Annie Chisworth's worked her way into a top 3 spot. Who's picking up the 4? That looks like Clements out of Andover, chasing Chisworth down this third straight. Here she comes around the outside, looking for a way through. Looking like we've got Claire Albert in the 5 spot heading down the final straight. It's going to be Goal, Burston, here comes Clements with a late charge down to the stripe. That one was close between Clements and Chisworth.
Right, we're going to go last chance qualifier racing at 5 minutes past 8. Last chance qualifiers, 13 and 14-year-old girls lining up. Watson, Dixon, French, Young and Muha. Right, gate drops, Watson, Dixon, French, Young and Muha heading down the straight. 2 riders to go through in this last chance qualifier as they head in and out of the turn. Hayley Watson being the first one to show. She's in there in 1, the 11 and the 949. That's going to be Madison Dixon in there in 2. Eliza French out of Bristol in there in 3. Isla Young going through in 4. Anastasia Muha in 5. Heading into that final corner. Watson, oh, pressure coming in the final turn. French tried to make the move, couldn't make it stick. Looks like Maddie Dixon's going to go through in that 2 behind Hayley Watson.
13 to 14-year-old second LCQ hits that first turn, looking like it is Ruby Walford leading this one out. Who's in there with her? Got Peckham BMX going 2 and 3, that is Price and Sataru heading into that second corner. Got to be Daisy Knowles in there in 4. Price hanging on to it as the exit turn number 2. Here comes Sataru though, heading towards that final corner. It's all about Walford out front. Fluid bicycle motocross. She's going to take this one down the final straight. Price looking like she's going to hang on to that 2 spot as they bring it down to the stripe.
All right, it's already getting busy with the 15, 16-year-old girls in and out. Turn number 1 looks like the 12 of Imogen Cockrell. Ice Bikes leading it out. That is Sophie Carniston, I think, in there in 2, looking like Isla Radcliffe going through in 3. Where is Fumia Jamie Hepburn? She's back there in 5 at the moment. There's only 2 making it through into the next round. Radcliffe's making a move in the final corner, diving underneath Carniston as they head down towards the line. Who's going to get it at the stripe? Cockrell's looking good. Looks like Radcliffe's going to pick up that too.
Harry Tyers, Harry Bailey and Newton Hindley all make up the 13 to 14-year-old LCQ in and out of that second corner. Tyers leading it out at the moment. Bailey in there with him. Hindley just chilling his way through that 3rd spot at the moment, as stylish as you like, into that final turn. But it's going to be Tyers, Bailey in that order down the final straight.
Second of the last chance qualifiers, Little Cotty leading it into the turn on that W7. That looks like Freddie Richardson, Eden Boone right there behind him, and Buttery looking for a way through from 4th. He's really going to have to pick up the pace if he wants to make it in. Still, Cottrell out in front, doing it for Rab Racing on that W7 plate that he picked up in Rock Hill. In and out of final corner they go. It's going to be Cockrell and Boone, I think. They're going to go 1 and 2. Richardson's going to get the 3, Buttery in 4.
15, 16-year-olds on track. Xander Mavawani Wright leads this one out. In and out of that first corner, got to be Hill and Simpson going at it for that 2 spot. Heading into the second corner, Simpson round the outside makes it happen. Looks like we've got Sam Hamling in there in about 4 at the minute. Just comes unclipped on the exit of turn number 2. But it's going to be Mavawani Wright and Simpson out of that final corner. Here comes Simpson, going to work his way from 2 to 1. He's going to take the win in this LCQ with Mavawani Wright in there behind him.
LCQ 7, Jaden Fawcett, off the pedals in the turn, has a quick look behind just to see where everybody is. He's still got a little bit of room in the minute, but he's got Henry Rayner all over the back of him and just working his way through. J. Teal, Simpson, Davis out in front. S&M Jump Club Source can force it, pull it back in that final corner. Has he got enough in the tank to catch Henry Rayner? He's lining him up down the straight. Rayner force it for that second spot. Who's going to get it on the line? Force's pushing hard. Too close to call.
Masters hit the track. Scott Beaumont leads this one through. Who's that in there with him looking like Martin Smiley Brown? Matt Eaton's in there as well in that top 3 spot. Archibald in there in 4. Who's picking up that 5 and looking like George Salmond out of Andover? But it's all about Beaumont at the moment with Smiley in there behind him. Last turn action, the front 2 are looking safe and clear. Has Eaton got enough left for them down the final straight? I don't think he has. Brown's going to take the win with Beaumont in there behind him.
Last chance qualifier number 9 in and out of the turn. John Livingston leading it through. That looks like Matthew Bourne in there in 2. Granger's in the mix in there in about 5 at the moment. Danny Taylor, Ryan Jones and David James as well. But the guys out in front, it's the 0-1. John Livingston, Moto 1365 out of the final turn. He's going to pick up the win. Bourne's going to go through in 2. Everybody else 3, 4, 5 and 6. The National Championships is done. All right, we've got semi-finalists at the back of the hill. Semi-final number 1, 15, 16-year-old girls. Imogen Cockrell, Eleanor Curtis, Mika Pritchard, Rosie O'Brien, Sophie Elwood, Sabina Ashman, and Freya, the Slayer Chalice. All up there at the top of the style here, Birmingham BMX Club, the Lloyds Bank National Championships. Right gate drop, semi-final number 1. Chalice, Ashman, Elwood, O'Brien, Pritchard, Curtis and Cockrell heading for that first turn. Already out in front by 5 bike lengths. Freya, the Slayer Chalice. It's all about 2, 3 and 4 in those positions in that main event. Who's got that second spot? Sabina Ashman looking good. Sophie Elwood in there in 3. Who's got the 4? But Freya, the Slayer, is out in front right now. 4th spot currently occupied by that 5X, and that belongs to Mika Pritchard. Pritchard in there in 4, under pressure from Cockrell at the line. Can't quite take the position. As we move on to semi-final number 2, Elsa Rendell, Todd, Lucy Simpson, who's got the 4th spot right now. It's the local girl, Birmingham National Race Team, Laurie Ann Carruthers. She's looking for another spot. There's a gap to Annalise Cadman-Carpenter. In there in 5, Elsa Rendell, Todd, Lucy Simpson out of the turn. Carruthers battling away. Who's going to get it down the final straight? Isla Radcliffe. Here comes Annalise Cadman-Carpenter. It's going to be close to the line. Whoa! One for the transponders of truth to sort out. I'm going to leave that to scores. We are going to go final racing at 8:30 p.m. Final racing at 8:30 p.m. Going to send you back to the music.
Okay. We are we're at the finish line. Got Rich Eames, commentator, here with me. We've just seen all the motos, the last chance qualifiers and the semi-finals. Next up are the finals. Yeah, what do you make of the format?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's very, very similar to World Cups and that kind of thing. So it's preparing these riders for what they might be able to face in the future. Obviously with a much shorter time frame to actually deal with it, which again, in itself is actually quite good because they're going to have to learn to kind of turn around quickly after a moto, cool down, get themselves into a position where they can start riding again. And yeah, it's a good proving ground for them. It's just building them up for something that might be 3, 4, 5 years down the line.
So a few of them, obviously in the 15s and 16s and under 23s and whatever, racing in Europe this year, 15s and 16s has been at championship rules, so they've been doing this, but it's the whole point, isn't it, to prepare more of our riders for that European and world level, you know, championship experience, and growing over the next few years.
Yeah, we definitely need to grow this over the next few years because, as you say, it's good for these riders to actually experience it before they get to Europe, before they get to possibly like a World Cup in junior or something like that. And once they've had that experience and they know what to expect, it's just going to make their life so much easier when they get there.
Yeah, for sure. Great racing. We've got finals coming up. We're going to interview each of the riders as well after their finals. So yeah, enjoy.
Thank you.
Do you want all the names reading out? Yeah.
Right, first up, 13 and 14-year-old girls. Up on the gates. Yeah.
Just crank that up a bit. Yeah.
Right, 13, 14-year-old girls lining up. On the A plate, out of Peckham, we've got Etana Price. On the 11X out of Nottingham, Madison Dixon. For Cumbernauld on the 2, Ailey Watson. Out of Manchester on the 4, Ruby Walford. On the 3 out of Exeter, Grace Burge. On the W4 out of Peterborough, jumping Jess Marriott. On the 1 plate on her home track at Birmingham, Ruby Moores. And for Blackpool on the W3, Emmy Seawards. Right, 13, 14-year-old girls, here we go. This is for the national championship. Into the turn, Emmy Seaward on the inside, battling with Jess Marriott. In and out we go, Seaward out in front. Ruby Moores in there in 3 right now with Tana Price, trying to make some moves as well. But the battle is out front. Emmy Seaward in control at the moment. Hard Knocks Bike Coaching, heading towards the final third. Turn, Jess Marriott, Ruby Moores chasing her down, heading down towards the line. Seaward's going to hold it. Hard Knocks Bike Coaching taking the national championships. I've got a feeling that Jess Marriott got the 2, Ruby Moores for the 3.
13 to 14-year-olds up on the gate for the national championship final. We have got Eden Boone, James Cottrell, Harry Bailey, Oliver Tyers, Kobe Rayford, Oliver James, Ben Larkins and James Clitheroe. 13 to 14-year-old Open hits the track. Larkins has had a great gate out of lane 2 and he's shut down Clitheroe, heading for turn number 1. Clitheroe's on the inside, he's got Rayford right there with him inside the top 3, but it's all about Larkins at the moment. Clitheroe's not done yet, heading into turn 2. Boone's in there at about 4. Here he comes though in and out of that second corner. It is the 2 and the E3 going at it for that national championship in and out of the final turn. Who's going to get it down the final straight? Clitheroe, Larkins, it's a battle to the stripe. This one's going to be close. I think Clitheroe's just nicked it.
Right, final 3 lining up, 15 and 16-year-old boys. We have got Henry Rayner from the northeast, JTL Simpson Davis from Peckham, Xander Mavelvani Wright from Peckham, Gabe Simpson out of Manchester, Flynn Drellingcourt out of Manchester, CGR's Thomas Doran, Preston's Finley Hoff, and TNT's Oliver Kendall. Final number 3, the Lloyds Bank National Championship, 15, 16-year-olds heading down towards turn number 1. Thomas Doran on the inside. Who's going to pick up the whole shot? I've got a feeling that was Xander Mavelvani, right? Oh, just got squeezed by Doran, but he's managed to keep it on. Gabe Simpson heading into turn number 2 in that second spot. Teammate Finley Hoff right there behind him. Flynn Drellingcourt's looking to make some moves as well as they go into the final turn. Door's been left wide open. Oh, Simpson tried to put it in, couldn't make it count. Ended up taking Finley Hoff. Xander Mavelvani Wright's got it. Doran for 2. Oliver Kendall for 3. It was do or die in the final corner. Simpson went for the move and it didn't pay off.
These are your women's masters lined up on the gate. Out of Cornwall, we've got Claire Albert. Riding out of Nottingham Outlaws, Annie Chisua. Out of Andover, Fon Clements. Rider for Braintree, Josephine Burston. And out of Bidford, Rebecca Gold. Women's Masters hits the track. Someone's going to be the new Lloyds Bank National Champion as they head for turn number 1. Goal has been shot out of a cannon. She's going to lead it into the corner. Who's in there with a Burston? Looking like she is hanging on to that 2 spot at the moment. Clements and Chisua are right there behind her, heading for turn number 2. Claire Albert's in there in that 5 spot, heading for that second corner as well. But it's all about your current British champion leading this one out. She's looking like she's going to pick up this women's Masters Lloyds Bank National Championship down the final straight. Rebecca Goal gonna take it right the way down to the stripe. Who's gonna get 2, 3, 4? Burston for 2. He's looking like Clements is gonna hang on to 3, and Chiswa in there in 4.
Masters men 30 plus lining up. We have got Scott Beaumont on the 2. We've got Martin Smiley Brown out of Telford, Matthew Bourne out of Bristol, John Livingston on the 0-1 out of Ipswich, Alan Hill on the 1 out of Norwich, Benjamin Martinez out of Birmingham, Billy Luckhurst from Runnymede and from Manchester BMX Club on the 426, Callum Strickland. They might be masters, but there ain't no disasters as they leave that gate. Looks like Strickland and Luckhurst are going to go 1 and 2 in the corner. Benjamin Martinez in there as well. Scotty Boom Beaumont in there in 4. Alan Hill in 5. Matthew Bourne in there in 6 with Livingston and Brown 7 and 8. But it's a stay strong duo going 1 and 2 into the final turn. Looks like Callum Strickland's going to pick up a national sleeve to go on that Stay Strong jersey. Billy Luckhurst with the 2. Martinez rounding out the top 3. Scott Beaumont in 4.
15 to 16-year-old girls up on the gate. On the 5X, we've got Mika Pritchard. On the 0-1, Annalise Cadman Carpenter. On the 2 plate, Megan Roy. On the 6, Sophie Elwood. On the 8 plate, Sabina Ashman. On the 1-4-3, Lucy Simpson. Riding on the 3-4-7, Elsa Rendell Todd. And on the 6-4-6, Freya Chalice. 15 to 16-year-old girls are a go. Chalice Harder lane number 1. She's heading for that first corner and she's going to pick up the whole shot. Elsa Rendell-Todd's in there in that 2 spot, looking like Lucy Simpson on the podium at the moment, heading for that second corner. It's all about Freya Chalice. Here comes Elsa Rendell-Todd looking up the inside, didn't quite get close enough to make the move stick in that second turn, so it is still Chalice and Todd in that order. Simpson rounding out the top 3s to go in and out of that final turn. Ashman and Roy battling it out for 4, but Freya, the Slayer Chalice, is your Lloyds Bank National Champion.
Right, next up, junior women. We have got on the 061 Taya Gaynor. On the 231 out of Bath, Betsy Bax. On the 3-plate out of Runnymede, Emily Hunt. And on the 273 from Cornwall, it is Sienna Harvey. Okay, riders heading down the hill. Just got 2 of them now heading towards that first turn. Looks like Emily Hutt and Taya Gaynor in and out of that first corner. Taya diving underneath, Emily in there in 2. Looks like the girls are taking their time, having a fun lap, enjoying themselves. And it is Emily and Taya heading down that third straight towards the final corner. Emily with her nose out in front on that European 2-plate. Taya in there in 2. Emily will be heading off to the Olympic Games in Paris. Taking it down to the line. Who's going to get it at the stripe? Oof, too close to call. Right, next up, junior men. We have got Danny Jake Monforte from Peckham, Ned Penny out of Bath, Harry Tanner out of Manchester, Joss Marnham for Birmingham, Harrison Bell for the Titans, and George Hunt for Preston Pirates. Final number 8 heading down the hill. Who's got the start? George Hunt on the inside. Harry Tanner heading for the turn, though, out in front for Manchester BMX Club. Tanner getting the whole shot. Hunt in there in 2, right on his back wheel. Harrison Bell just making it. Oh! Got it all wrong going through that pro section. Doesn't matter because out in front it's a 2-horse race as they come into the final turn. Tanner and Hunt in and out of the corner. Hunt's dived underneath, widening up down the straight. The riders are elbow to elbow. Who's going to get into the line? Hunt, Tanner to the stripe. Transponders of truth will tell us the result. Wow, wow, wow. Wouldn't like to say you got that one. We are going to go with the presentations immediately now, as soon as humanly possible.